Hello students, welcome to the historical background part 3. In this discussion, we will be discussing the committees of the Constituent Assembly, enactment of the Constitution, enforcement of the Constitution. So let us discuss the committees of the Constituent Assembly. The Constituent Assembly appointed a number of committees to deal with the different tasks of constitution making. Out of these, 8 were major committees and other were minor committees. The name of these committees and their chairman are given below. So the major committee comprised of Union Power Committee, headed by or led by Jawaharlal Nehru, Union Constitution Committee, again Jawaharlal Nehru, Provincial Constitution Committee with the chairman Sardar Patel, Drafting Committee Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Advisory Committee on Fundamental Rights, Minorities and Tribal and Excluded Areas. It is led by Sardar Patel. This committee had the following 5 subcommittees. First one is Fundamental Right Subcommittee, chaired by J.B. Kriplani, Minorities Subcommittee, chaired by H.C. Mukherjee, Northeast Frontier Tribal Areas and Assam Excluded and Partially Excluded Areas Subcommittee, chaired by Gopinath Bardoloi, Excluded and Partially Excluded Areas other than those in Assam Subcommittee is chaired by A.V. Thakkar, Northwest Frontier Tribal Area Subcommittee, Rule of Procedure Committee, chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, State Committee, chaired by Jawaharlal Nehru, and Steering Committee, again by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Then there are certain minor committees as follows: Finance and Staff Committee, chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Credential Committee, Alladi Krishna Swami Iyer, House Committee by B. Pattabi Sitaramaiah, Order of Business Committee, Dr. K. M. Munshi, Ad hoc Committee on the National Flag, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Committee on the Function of Constituent Assembly, G. V. Mavalankar, Ad hoc Committee on the Supreme Court by S. Vardachari, not an assembly member. Committee on Chief Commissioner Province by B. Pattadi Sitaramaiah. Expert Committee on Financial Provision of the Union Constitution as Nalini Ranjan Sarkar. Linguistic Provinces Commission, S.K. Dar. Special Committee to examine the draft constitution, Jawaharlal Nehru. Press Gallery Committee by Usha Nath Sen. And Ad hoc Committee on the Citizenship, it is chaired by Varadachari. Then the Drafting Committee is headed by total 7 members. Among all the committee of the Constituent Assembly, the most important committee was the Drafting Committee, set up on August 29, 1947. It was this committee that was entrusted with the task of preparing draft of new constitution. It consisted of 7 members. They were Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as a chairman, and they are supported with their 6 members. The first is N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar, Alladi Krishna Swami Iyer, Dr. K. M. Munshi, Syed Muhammad Sadullah, N. Madhava Rao, he replaced by B. L. Mittar, resigned due to the ill health. I. T. Krishnamachari, he replaced by the D. P. Khaitan, who died in 1948. The Drafting Committee after taking into consideration the proposal of the various committees, prepared the first draft of the Constitution of India, which was published in February 1948. The people of India were given 8 months to discuss the draft and propose the amendment. In the light of the public comment, criticism, and suggestion, the drafting committee prepared a second draft, which was published in October 1948. The drafting committee took less than 6 months to prepare its draft. In all, it sat only for 141 days. There are different enactment and enforcement of the Constitution. So let us see what are those enactment and enforcement. The enactment of the Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar introduced the final draft of the Constitution in the Assembly on November 4th, 1949. First reading was carried out on this date. The Assembly had a general division on it for 5 days, till November 9, 1948. Second reading, that is clause by clause, started on November 15, 1948 and ended on October 17, 1949. During this stage, as many as 7,659 amendments were proposed and 2,473 were actually discussed in the Assembly. The third reading of the draft started on November 14, 1949. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar moved a motion, the Constitution as settled by the Assembly be passed. The motion on the draft Constitution was declared as passed on November 26, 1949 and received the signature of member of the President. Out of a total 299 members of the Assembly, only 284 were actually present on that day and they signed the Constitution. This is also the date mentioned in the preamble as the date on which the people of India in Constituent Assembly adopted, enacted and gave to themselves this Constitution. The Constitution as adopted on November 26, 1949 contained a preamble, 395 article and 8 schedule. The preamble was enacted after the entire Constitution was already enacted. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the then law minister, piloted the draft Constitution in Assembly. He took a very prominent part in the deliberation of Assembly. He was known for his logical, forceful and persuasive argument on the floor of Assembly. He is recognized as a father of the Constitution of India. This brilliant writer, constitutional expert, undisputed leader of the scheduled caste and the chief architect of Constitution of India is also known as modern Manu. Then the enforcement of the Constitution. Some provisions of the Constitution pertaining to the citizenship, election, provisional parliament, temporary and transitional provisions and short title contained Article 5, 6, 7, 8, 379, 380, 388 came into force on November 26, 1949 itself. The remaining provision, the major part, the Constitution came into force on January 26. The 1950. This day is referred to in the Constitution as a date of its commencement and deliberated as the Republic Day. January 26 was specially chosen as the date of commencement of the Constitution because of its historical importance. It was on this day in 1930 the Purna Swaraj Day was celebrated following the resolution of Lahore session. December 1929 of INC. With the commencement of the Constitution, the Indian independence Act of 1947 and the Government of India Act 1935 with all the enactment amending all the supplementing the latter act were repealed. The abolition of Privy Council Jurisdiction Act was however continued. So in this video we discussed the enforcement and enactment. Also we discussed the different committees which involved in framing the Constitution of India. Thank you for watching.